speaking of Daniel Bryan, his like probably the end to his full-time run is coming up. He's going to have this match with Swerve Strickland at All In, and the classic career versus title thing. He made some interesting comments recently on a recent podcast. He's doing media rounds heading into the event. And he was asked two questions about one, a WWE return, and then being in the Hall of Fame. And his response was really surprising to me. One, he only said he would be interested in coming back to WWE. And this is a guy, again, remember, this is a guy who left WWE and didn't have anything bad to say. Like, he had a lot of positive things to say about it. He didn't leave on bad terms. He's always consistently says he enjoyed his time at WWE. But he said he would only return if like things changed and like the WWE product was really in a downward spiral and like AEW had become the top company. So he would go to bring the balance again, like he did for AEW, and try to help WWE if that's so were to happen. At this point, that's definitely not going to happen. And then also on the WWE Hall of Fame, he just has no real interest in like those kind of the outside the ring accolades and stuff like that, which is I get on a level, but I mean, I feel like he's sort of, because he's fully immersed in the Tony Khan Kool-Aid, he's kind of lost sight of the fans. And I think Tony Khan has kind of also lost sight of the larger segment of fans. He's feeding the need of the diehards that want a 30-minute, 5-star fest or whatever. And that's why the business is not as doing as good for them. And I think Daniel Bryan's kind of forgot, like, Hall of Fame in wrestling is as much for you, but it's less so like it is in baseball, football. This is kind of for the fans. Like, the fans made you who you are because of your performance, and it's a celebration of your connection with the fans, really. And going back to WWE again, it's kind of losing sight of this great connection you have with this fan base in these special moments, and it's really going back to show love to the fans, and then they're going to show love back to you. And it's unfortunate that he's kind of has his disconnect. What are your thoughts on him, his comments on not being too much interested in going back to WWE or the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, regarding the Hall of Fame thing, like, I understand why he would say something like that. It's kind of in vogue to, not be as interested in those kind of accolades, but I don't put a whole lot of weight into that. I think the time will come where, they'll ask him and he'll go in. There's no way it doesn't happen. It's not like, to your point, it's not like he left on bad terms or anything like that. And there'll come a time down the line where he'll want to reflect on everything that happened. And, the WWE Hall of Fame is the perfect place to do that. So, the same way that we've seen, never say nevers, like, Ultimate Warrior going in, San Martino going in, things like that. I find it really hard to believe that the time will come and Bryan Danielson will not want to go in. It'll happen one way or another. So I'm not too worried about that. But in terms of what he said about the other thing, yeah, if he's going to hold himself true to that, we're never going to see him back in WWE. There's no scenario where AEW is going to take over WWE anytime in the near future. So, yeah, I think it's just a point of, it's a matter of him being loyal to the person that is being loyal to him right now, and that's Tony Khan. He takes his role seriously as kind of his mentor and ambassador for AEW. He understands that he's a big draw. He wants to do the best that he can to make AEW feel like a big deal. And he's in the main event upcoming of their biggest show against their world champions. So, he's saying all the right things for the company that he's currently employed with. What that looks like down the line, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, it may be different. But at this point in time, I'm not really surprised by the things that he's saying. He's saying all the right things for his current employer, but I don't think it changes a whole lot about everybody's perspective on things. AEW is clearly a number 2 to WWE, even more so than it was before. And as much as he brings to it, it's not going to change a whole lot. So we'll see how he feels about it when the contract comes up or anything like that, or maybe he's enjoying his time there and he'll want to go behind the scenes and he'll be able to have a much more involved role in AEW than he would in WWE. So it could be a short amount of time, it could be 15, 20 years from now, but I think the time will come where he'll get into the Hall of Fame one way or another.